Welcome back to Career Build Series. This is episode number 99. And so I did a live stream today and went ahead and built this heavily inspired off the Antonov 2. I don't necessarily know if I'd call it a replica, but it's heavily inspired by it. And so I want to get playing with this new toy. So let's go ahead and we just got a mission pop up here. If we look, we have the military base is up here, and the military base is on fire. 19,000. That's some good money. So we can put that out. They're trapped upstairs, can't fight the fire. So let's go ahead and we need to get some firefighting gear. So I have my firefighting suit still on. And let's just grab a couple fire X's and stick them in here for now. So did a bunch of work on this in the live stream. So you can watch that. That is published if you'd like to watch it. And we'll get going on this. So the Antonov 2 is a very long-lived, still a lot of them in service aircraft. Started operating around 1947. And they were still making them in 2001. You know, they started putting some of the more modern ones with turboprops. It's the most popular version was a 12-seater. They had a lot of different versions. They had crop dusters. They had all sorts. And they're really rugged. They're really simplistic, so they work really well. So I'll go through what I'm pressing here. So first thing we're going to do when we come in here is this is a little bit simpler, so we turn on one or both batteries. We're going to start with one battery, just so that as we're not burning down the other one. I need to fix the batteries. They're not segregated properly, but I will. Fuel valve 1 is just turning on that port fuel tank. Fuel valve 2 turns on the starboard fuel tank. Next thing I'll do is turn on the fuel valve. This is the actual engine fuel valve. And then we can turn on the beacon and crank. Alright, so engine is started. Let's go ahead and release the brake. And we can turn on battery 2 now that will have charge. Alright, let's get going here. So I don't have a tail number for this yet, but I will. Parking brake release on. Oh, let me see what's up. Hold on, something's up. I see what's up with the brakes. I just worked on the wheels a bunch, so I want to make sure everything's hooked up correctly. Something's up. Oh, we're not getting brake release, I don't think. Let's try to look at it. All right, let's see if that was it. Let's get in there. So I have it dropping from a height just because the last thing I did was work on the landing gear. So should probably bring some first aid kits, but the hospital is right there, so if people are hurt, I can just walk them off. And so let's check this. Power. Gotta kind of get down a little bit. Release parking brake, fuel valve. Let's crank it, and I'll go outside and check the tires, see why I'm not moving. Hopefully it's not my new gear that I just worked a long time on. Okay. I'm hoping it's not that, because I just worked a bunch of time trying to get it how I wanted it. Let's check the wheel. Brake's a false. Brake is false. Okay, hopefully we can get moving here. Oh, I know what it is. Okay, I was doing testing with the alternator, and I disconnected the propeller. So it's spinning up fine. The whole point was I can spin up my engine without the airplane moving by disconnecting the prop pitch. So let's hook that back up. That will fix it. Okay, good. So I'll lower this down so it stops slamming, but that's just, again, to test the strength of the landing gear. The vehicle damage is on, so if that were to damage the landing gear, it would. So this is actually a pretty quick startup procedure compared to some of my other vehicles because this is a more simplistic aircraft. Single engine, you know, it doesn't have too many frills. We have what would be essentially a manual flap lever here. So let's go to about 50% on our flaps. I won't bother talking to ATC. I will. Looking at taxi, we're going to go VFR to Sawyer. Clear taxi to runway 25. We're ready to take off. Clear for takeoff, runway 25. So one of the things that the Antonov 2 is kind of known for was it could take off of rough fields very short. It had lots of flaps. It had flaperons, which are ailerons and flaps. It had upper and lower flaperons on both of its wings, and so this gives it a lot of lift. And as you can see, we take off at around 70 knots. My rotation is around 60 knots. And so, you know, one of the things you had back in the Soviet Union back in the day was, and the Soviet states, you had some, you know, it's an enormous place with not a huge amount of population. You know, the old Soviet Union was enormous. You know, I think the current population is like only 125 million people in Russia, but, you know, you'd have to add up the Soviet states. But anyway, so you had some really far-flung communities. You know, you had all the way up to Siberia, all the way to the east, all the way to the west. So you had huge, vast swaths of empty land. And so they had a lot of really cool, rugged aircraft that could go into unprepared fields. And so an unprepared field is essentially not a either asphalt or concrete field. And you go in there, and so, for example, I did a bunch of soft field training. You have to do it as part of your private pilot. You know, I did it as a flight instructor training people, so you have to do it as your commercial to get ready for that. You have to also do it for your flight instructor rating. And so what you do is you go into these grass strips, and they'd have potholes, they'd have bumps, they'd have, you know, hills and rises, and a lot of them were short. And so you needed aircraft that could handle a soft field, takeoff and landing. So you're landing on grass, and so you can't have really hard tires. You have to have soft tires so that you don't sink in. You want to be able to float. Often a tail dragger is good for that. When you hit a pothole, it pops the tail wheel up, and you don't have problems where a regular conventional tricycle, if your nose wheel goes into a pothole, you could hit the prop on the ground, and if it goes into a pothole deep enough, you could break the nose wheel off and really be in trouble. And so we had some cool procedures we'd have to do. For example, you do a wheelie the whole time you go down the runway. You pick up that wheel off the ground, the nose wheel if you can, and you just balance on your mains. You got a boat down there. And you just balance on your mains, and that will make it so that you can't get that nose wheel stuck in a pothole if you have a tricycle with the nose wheel in the front. So it's kind of neat. And so these were built to have really rugged landing gear. Again, tail draggers, which was helpful in those rough fields. They were not super fast. As you can see, we're doing 130 knots. That's around where the real one goes. I don't think I'm even at 100% thrust here. I'm going to have to bring the prop back just in a second to keep cool. But they were really super duper cool planes, and very rugged and very long lasting. And, you know, they're very dated now. You know, they're radials, and they started putting some turboprops in them. But just a really cool plane. It's not a screamer by any imagination, but one of the reasons I wanted to build this was, one, for the love of the airplane, and two, this is going to be a cool plane for being kind of like an air ambulance or doing a lot of these missions that we need to get accomplished. And so, for example, I can take this plane out and I can land in very short areas because my approach speed is 60 knots. And so one of the things that helps you when you're trying to have a short takeoff and landing aircraft, which this was designed to be, both by me and in real life, is when you have a short takeoff and landing, if the slower you can take off and the slower you can land, of course, the less runway you're going to need. Because if you're shooting down the runway at 200 knots, you're eating up runway. And if you need 200 knots to rotate, you're eating up a lot more runway. If you need to land at 125, you know, you're eating up a lot of runway. And if you're coming in at 60, you can eat up a lot less runway. You need a shorter amount of runway. And so we're going to be able to land in rough terrain. I really did a lot of work trying to get the gear. I finally kind of, I wouldn't say they're cheesed, but they cannot be as complicated as they be in real life because there's too many physics bodies. And the game kind of has a fart if you do that. So, you know, that's something that I kind of had to work on. But the gear is very robust. That's, as you saw when it spawns in, I drop it from a great height to test it. And it lands nicely. It lands flat. Those are all important characteristics. So, really nice. Let's get a quick, I'm going to get a quick screenshot of it. I need some sort of thumbnail for the video. Kind of think it looks better this way. It's a little bit chunky on the front there, so or on the tail. I need to XML some blocks in for the tail. So that's something I need to do. So do that. But it flies really well. Flies, I would say, you know, very realistically like a real airplane like this would. This is my roll speed. That's about normal. I have an integrated rudder system, not to overdo it or fly it for me, but to be more realistic. Talked about this in the live stream, is when you put your wing down to turn, that outside, that high wing has to go a greater distance in the same amount of time. So the only way to do that is going at a faster rate. Well, when you pick up that wing, that right wing wants to go faster, and that will turn you to the left. When you go right, that high wing wants to turn to the right, and you go to the right. So I said it backwards, but you know, so that's some of the things that you get in real life that we don't get in game. So I just kind of simulate it. And I still can, you know, use rudder as necessary. We're coming in there. There's military. All right, we're approaching here at 123 knots. I've got my cooling system set up here, so it's working well. I can maintain around 100 degrees at a cruise speed of 123 knots. The real one would cruise at 100 knots, so I have a good little bit of buffer here, and that is making it so I can go a little bit faster. This is still not a bad speed. You know, it really hasn't taken us long. We've been in, you know, the video's been going for 11 minutes. I had to fart around a little bit. And, you know, we're already up here. The distances are so short. You know, 11 minutes to fart around down here and be up here. You know, so it's really not a long time. And this is a VFR completely, VFR only aircraft. I can only do visual flight rules. I don't have any sort of instrumentation. So prop is going forward. I did bring it back a little bit. So prop is going forward. Manifold pressure, which is my power, is coming back. So you can see manifold pressure coming back. RPM, I have a PID-controlled constant speed propeller. We're going to go ahead and start bringing in flaps here, as you can see. So flaps are going to pitch my nose up. That's how it does in real life. You start gaining that lift, and you're gaining drag, which is going to start slowing you down. So every time we do a pitch power or configuration change, which flaps is configuration we need to trim, I'm going to start bringing the power back. Now, I tried not to trim too much there, and the reason was I knew I was going to pull my power back, and so I didn't need it. So now, as you can see, we're down to 70 knots. So we can see the fire. So my approach speed is going to be about 65. I can get down as low as 60. Any slower than that, I have to worry about a stall, so I have to worry about trying to jam in some power there quickly at the end. So notice how the airplane is crooked. It's facing this way. That's telling me where the wind is, so we're weather vaning. So what we would do is you drop your left wing, and you come in. This is called a crab angle. So we're coming in at a crab, so you'd actually look out here like this. We line the runway up with our crab, and then at the last second, I'm going to kick the rudder and straighten out the nose. So wing down, coming in on my crab. I'm going to kick the rudder and pull the power. And I'm going to kick, straighten it out. Beautiful. Brakes, just tap the brakes gently. Nice, nice, nice. Just some taps on the brakes. And I'm going to just quickly turn the tail wheel. One of the nice things with a tail wheel craft is, as you can see, I can go 90 degrees on the tail wheel. Because it's hooked up through the gyro, it will go in this speed. It won't give me a full 90. But as you can see, I can turn around quickly. And so we'll go right over there. But it's really, this is a lot of fun. You know, going this slow speed is really nice. It's going to allow me to land on roads. It's going to allow me to land out in the wilderness. And so for a lot of these rescues that are pretty much relegated to the meta of helicopter everything, this allows me to skip the helicopter and take this. And I'm much more of a fixed-wing guy. I do enjoy helicopters, but I much prefer fixed-wing stuff. And so when I can do that, I will. Let's hit the brakes, try not to hit people, and I'm going to just... So that's a nice pick. I like that. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to shut down. So fuel valve off. We'll shut the engine off. We can shut the two valves off on the tanks. I'm going to leave one battery on. I could shut it off, but I'll just leave it on. That will... Actually, they're tied in still. So brake release off, and we're good to go out. All right, so I want this fire extinguisher. Get rid of a rope. Fire extinguisher. All right. And let's go ahead and fight this fire. We have a lot of people in there. I have my fire suit on, thankfully, so. One thing I want to do is when I get this plane quote-unquote done or close to being done, I want to make some more versions. I want to make a rescue version, which will have a medical bed in it. It will have a lot of supplies. This is more of a passenger version. I would love, somebody asked during the live stream, why, if there's going to be some more CapAir. There will be. One of the reasons I slowed down on CapAir was it sounded like the update for Stormlink could be imminent. It seems like it's taken a little bit longer. I don't know if the end of line is still working on it or not. I know somebody else made a version of it that is working with Industrial Frontier. So the issue with Industrial Frontier was, my understanding of it, of course, if end of line says differently, of course, they know better than I. But, with regular heavy Stormworks, I use Stormlink. With regular heavy Stormlink, the one that's not Stormlink Light, you have a bunch of buildings. So End of Line built a bunch of buildings, and so you have terminals for, say, trains, buses, and airplanes. And those got all screwed up when Industrial Frontier came out because a lot of the landmass changed. You coming? Okay. A lot of the landmass changed, and because the landmass changed, he was going to have to rebuild all of the buildings. Stormlink Light does not use the buildings; it just spawns the people. And so, hopefully, End of Line's still working on it. I understand if they don't want to, but hopefully they are. That would be great. I would love to get back into CapAir. I still can do it, but it's kind of, it's missing a lot of content if there's no place for me to take people, in the Industrial Frontier area on the arid biome. So it'd be kind of nice if I could do that. I can't get in there from there. Let's check the tower. How many people are we looking at here? It said 19,000, so I bet there are a lot of people that need rescue. So let's see. That's Rig Doctor. I'm at the wrong island here. Where the hell am I? Over here. Okay. Let's see, 8. Okay, so we have some there. I'm just checking everywhere before I have to go down. Are you coming with? Okay, if I can pick them up, I think they're going. So there's 4. Bang. Let's get up in here. 5, 6, 7. Come on. Come on. Come on. And some of these I think are looky-loos. All right. Stop, stop, and stop. Thank you. All right, and that guy up there. So that was my 8. So those people are just looky-loos. They're spectators. So I'd love to get back into CapAir. I would love to use something like this in CapAir. It'll be a little bit different than just going super speed all the time. It'd be a lot of fun, but again, I'm kind of waiting, seeing what Stormlink's going to do. I might send a nice message to End of Line asking just, if they do plan on, if they're continuing the update or if it's stalled or what, and I will, kind of go ahead or not, with CapAir. If it's somewhat close, I might say, hey, wait. If it's nowhere near being close, I might just either use the one the other person updated or try to just put in some of the new spawn locations for myself and just keep that as a private edit that I can continue CapAir. But that's that's one of the main reasons why I hadn't been doing CapAir, was kind of wanted that the ability to use Stormlink, and was hoping that it was being updated soon, but it does not appear that it's going to be trademarked soon. So, all right, so a lot of people here. Ooh, we got collect a crate too. Nice, nice, nice. So one of the things I want to do here is, if you've been following the latest update, I would love to get into the new oil content. I want to build a, it's probably going to be a barge to tow with the tugboat. I'm really a big fan of power unit, and kind of like tractor trailer is power unit, and in that case trailer. Oh, there's a dog here. So the nice thing with that is you can have a trailer and then hook up and then do something completely different with one vehicle. And, you can do that with tug and barge. I can have a barge that holds containers. I can have a barge that holds oil. I can have a barge that holds vehicles. I can have a barge that does everything. And the power unit is all the same as the tugboat. I don't have to build a new vehicle. If I only use, say, oil tankers for oil, and then I want to do a container ship and I need, a container ship for containers, you can quickly see how now it really takes me a ton of time to get any of these things built because I have to build one for each one. Well, if I build a barge that can go suck up some oil on the water, I can just pull it with the tugboat. All right, let's see what we have here. See, I was almost going to try this. I might be able to land on this island. The issue is this: I can't get them. I cannot land this on the oil rig. If they were going somewhere else, like one of the things I would really like the devs to do is they have a lot of good helicopter missions. I would like them to do more fixed-wing missions. For example, this here, I can't really take this guy anywhere. If I, for example, had a transpo from here to Dremore, I could land here and then deliver somebody there. But it's usually like an airport to an island, and it's like, okay, well, I need a VTOL. So it really makes everything meta, and I'm not a huge fan of the metas. All right, so what I'm actually going to do here, let's see if there's a bed in there. We stole ourselves a dog. Let's shut off the power here. Power's off. Okay. So we're going to go ahead, and I think I will see if there's a bed in here. I will sleep if there is. I can lay on a couch maybe. I know there is over there at the hospital. I'll just quickly no clip over there. All right, go ahead and take a naparoni, and we'll see what pops up for a mission. I want to stay with this vehicle. I've really had a lot of fun building this. I did another live stream of the new ultralight. I was asked by Darkside Tripper if I would, show how I built my ultralight because, really compact builds can be quite a challenge. And it was quite a challenge to get the propeller pitch set just right because it literally weighs like 400 mass. It is, it would be like 5 times what your player character weighs. At most, it's less than that. And so having the engine high causes a really strong pitching forward moment. So did a nice live stream on that. I enjoy that craft. The one that I made in the live stream I eventually will release. The issue is I need to finish it up. That one doesn't have too much utility for me because it is only 1 seat. The other ultralight has 2 seats. So if I get a mission where I need to pretty much rescue 1 person, or if I need to go, say, repair a car or something, I can take the ultralight. That would be fun. Riverboat. Nope. So I'm just trying to find a mission that I can do in this. I would like to try to get something off-field. So I'm really kind of chomping. Let me see. Transport 1 scientist. Let's check this. I'm really champing at the bit to try to get a new save going to do the new oil content. One of the issues is that they disabled AI because people were, when they'd start a new save, they would spawn over at the AI. And so they disabled AI. And so that's not all that helpful to be able to do that. And so I don't want to start a new game and then have them make an update, and then I have to start a new game again. We noticed last episode, Clark has no collision unless you start a new save. For example, my test world, Clark is fine. For here, I fall through Clark, so I'd love to start a new save for that. The issue again being that, until they kind of get the kinks ironed out of this oil spill update, I really don't feel like starting a new save because I have a lot of oil parked at the oil rig. What I think I might do is I'll spend some episodes here, and we'll spend one getting all that oil sold. So I'll shut down the oil rig, have it stop pumping. I will convert all the oil into diesel and jet. I will sell them all, and I will turn it into cold hard cash. We're up to 366. It sounds like good money. The problems are these. If, let's say I want to bring back Triton for an episode, that is, I think, over that. So that will cost every last penny I have just to launch the ship. I have a new home ship I want to work on. I also want to buy this island here. And was it that one? No, it's this one. This one here. I want to buy this island, and I want to build a home base. So we always have to have the home base spawn there. So there could be 50 grand, plus we need to spend 100 grand on the island. There are a bunch of these bases around I want to buy. So what I think I'm going to do is, in the next couple episodes, I will go ahead and I will stop pumping. I will convert all that to diesel and jet. I will sell all this off. And then we'll have a big chunk of cash. And when I start the new game or the new save, I'll go around, I'll buy all the bases, and then I'll give myself the same amount of money. And we'll be made whole again. we won't have lost all that oil. That's been sitting in the piggy bank for a long time, all that oil, and I don't want to just throw it away. So let's go ahead. I think this aircraft might be a little bit on the long side. I have to check it. It should be thinner in the back, but I have to XML a bunch of blocks, so I'll eventually do that. As you can see, we still have some paint issues. All right, so let's get going. This is gonna be hairy, but this is what this was designed for. All right, Draymore is fine. We're gonna come up here, land Draymore, and snag this dude. I do not know. I do not know if I can land on this island. I'm gonna come and try to land on this island. And again, my priority is not money per hour, it's fun per hour. And if we look, this is only worth probably barely any money. No, it's actually not bad, 10,000. So that's actually pretty good money. So let's get going. Let's check my fuel, 948. So we're pretty good. We burned about, what did we burn? 160 pounds on that side, and we burned a little bit more on that side. Let's say 3. So let's say about 460 pounds. So that's about 200 liters. So we burned 200 liters to get from here up to there. So not too shabby. All right, and I have no way to refill this, unfortunately. I forgot to put that on. I meant to do it. All right, so flaps. We want to set flaps to 50%. All right, strobes. Oh, that's on. Okay. Military traffic. Military. This is... I need to put a tail number on there. Military traffic. I'm ready to taxi for takeoff. We're going to be heading over to Draymore. Here, we'll get turning. A couple things that I'm missing on the plane I should add is independent braking. So you can do differential braking where you brake one wheel or the other. So if I broke the inside wheel, we would be able to head that direction. So I'm going to hit the brakes. This is like a perfect example of a proper short field and soft field takeoff. So a short field takeoff is you have to go, you know, as you can see, the trees are making this short, and you have a certain distance for each aircraft that is the distance over a 50-foot obstacle, and that means essentially a tree. And so this would set it up perfectly, and you'd look in your manual and it would tell you for the temperature, for the weight you have, how much space you need to be able to take over that 50-foot obstacle. So what we're going to do is we're going to set our flaps to 50%. All right. We're going to go ahead, we're going to leave the parking brake on, and we are going to go full throttle. And I'm going to tap the parking brake off when we start moving. There we go. I didn't tap it off. There we go. And so this gets our engine already at full throttle. 20. Hopefully we're going to miss it here. There we go. There we go. Okay, so we made it up. Draymore is an uncontrolled field. Draymore traffic. Ant 2 is final for one-way 2-2. Draymore. Alright, so prop is full forward. Manifold pressure is coming back. Flaps are going in. And so watch my nose drop. My flaps are coming in. I'm anticipating when I add my flaps in, it's going to help me keep my nose up. And it is. Alright, we're at 60 knots. I need to add power. There we go. So I'm going to try to come in more close to 60 knots here. Because I want to be able to get this. The slower I can come in, the shorter I can use up the runway. And so I'm watching my speed like a hawk. You're constantly doing, they call it a cross-check. You're cross-checking your speed, and I'm watching it, watching it, watching it. You notice we get really nice and slow in this plane, like the real one. All right, pulling the power, and brakes, 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 brakes. That's how short we can land. So that was good practice. As you can see, we're going to likely be able to hopefully land on that island. Here's the Johnny, and they actually have a box, which is cool. So let's taxi over there. So I want to start bringing my flaps up, flaps to 50% for takeoff. And we're going to do a proper short field. This is not soft. Brakes, 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 brakes. There we go. So this plane operates really well. It's not too unstable. All right, let's go ahead. Parking brake, fuel valve. Fuel valves, and I'll shut one battery off. I need to fix the electrical system's not quite right. Howdy there, scientist. So one thing I was thinking, I have to test it, is I was thinking to set my alternator clutches to 100% when the engine's shutting down, because that puts resistance on the engine, and I'm wondering if that'll help me slow the propeller down even more. So the cargo section is in the back to the right here. Let's try to get this in here. There we go. All right. So soil samples. So this is the kind of mission I really like. I would like them to see them do more of these. You know, again, do good airplane to airport to airport stuff. I'd like to see them do some a grass strip would be cool. Some more airplane stuff would really be cool, because I think we're so stuck with helicopter stuff, which you know, I like the helicopter stuff, but it's like everything is best done with a helicopter. And you know, of course you can make a helicopter that goes ultra fast, you know, in game, but it would also be cool if airplanes kind of get their day. All right, let's get going here. Those screens should have stayed on with battery 2 on. I don't know why they didn't, so I gotta check that. Alright, here we go. Draymore traffic. Ant 2 is taxiing to the end of 2-2. We're going to be position hold. Alright, what position hold means is you go into position on the runway and you hold. You stop there. And it tells other... I'm just checking my fuel. I'm going to shut off fuel valve 2, and now I'm only burning from that tank. I want to even them out. So what you're telling the traffic is, hey, I'm going to be sitting on the runway for a minute, so you need to keep an eye out for me. So we're actually, let's take off on the grass. We have a good grass section over here. So we're going to come out and we'll take off the grass and we'll see where we have to rotate. Just make sure I don't hit my wheel. But these were designed to be going, you know, off-road onto unprepared fields, on grass fields. Ant 2 is taking off on the grass just to the east side of runway 22, Draymore traffic. All right, so flaps are set. I'm just going to hold the brakes with the spacebar, and we're going to go up. And as soon as we start rolling, I'm going to let go of the brakes. There we go. All right, here we go. Watching my airspeed to come alive. Airspeed alive. V1, rotate, positive rate. So not too bad. Cat was jumping on me as I was trying to take off. All right, let's put the flaps up and let's start turning. We burned up a little bit of fuel there. These are gravity feed tanks like you'd probably have in real life. You know, like a Cessna 172 will have gravity feed tanks. And if you get an imbalance, what you do is you just shut the valve on one side and that will cause it to burn from the other side. So as you can see, this one is not burning any fuel. we're burning only off of this port tank. So I have to keep an eye on it because you can accidentally run the tank down. So, so we need to go across the island here. So we're doing this VFR. So I'm going to quickly, let's do this. Let's get on the map. Let's go back here. And then I want to go in options. And I'm shutting off map vehicles. We're going to do it proper VFR. So what you do VFR is you look at the map. So we want to follow the south of the island, of the continent. We'll hit the lighthouse. We'll look for this island and then go across. So we'll do this all visually. So here's the south of the continent. As you can see, with full takeoff RPM, we can't keep the engine cold. So I'm just going to gently start bringing back the propeller. What that's doing is it's telling the prop governor that I want less RPM. And because I'm asking it for less RPM, the prop governor will give me a greater, higher blade pitch, which puts resistance on the engine, which causes me to lose RPM, and therefore slow down, burn less fuel, and make less heat. So as you can see, that is now stable. So we're going 125, so pretty good. All right, and I will time-lapse this out. So here we're coming up on it here. Let's go ahead and look at the map. So we have the lighthouse we're approaching, and then we have a craggy island here, and then we have our island with this one to the south. So that's how you do it with VFR nav. So we'll go and check. So there's the lighthouse, as you can see. Craggy island. There's our island, and there's one to the south. So I'm not all that confident we're going to be able to do this in this plane. I'll make a save as we get close, and I'll see if I can make an attempt. It's looking pretty rough, I think. Yeah, you see, it's looking pretty rough. I need like that. This island I think, landed on before with a plane. That one's not too bad. Like that's impossible. That's not happening. And then this one here is looking very hilly, so I have to try to figure it out. You know, again, they really made everything so it's helicopter, man. Come on, give me some airplane content, man. You know, I don't know if I can get the ultralight in here. Yeah, it's looking pretty rough here. Let's see. You know, this would be fine with the Seagull, but I didn't take the Seagull. I want to use this. So I'm trying to figure, we have a bunch of cash. We could go over to Sawyer South and take a boat. We have the airport up here. This one is buku dinero, though I don't spend a ton of money. Spending a ton of money is actually not the worst thing, because that would allow me to give me some, because I'm going to go sell all that oil and jet fuel, and I have quite a bit of money. There's like $1 million sitting right there. So this is looking pretty hairy. A lot of rocks and stuff. So let's see. We'll fly over. Generally, when you're doing an off-field landing like this, you'll fly over. So let's go ahead and I'll do a quick save. All right. So I'm not all that hopeful we're going to be able to do this. Let's see. All right. So let's go. Flaps coming in. I'm going to start trimming my nose down in anticipation of the flaps. Trimmed a little bit too much, but flaps are all the way in. Okay, props coming full forward and manifold pressure's coming back. So props full forward. You hear the engine speed up, but I'm also dragging the manifold down, so it won't speed up too much. I don't want to speed up a ton here. Now we need a retrim. We did a power change. And I don't want to get much slower than 75 until I actually go in. 65 is about as slow as I want to get on approach. So let's look at this. This is looking ugly, man. Yeah, I don't see how I'm gonna be able to land in here. Let's do a quick flyover. I doubt. Yeah, see, it's rocky and it is not easy. So I'll get us close and let's go ahead and do this. So we're gonna go ahead and we'll take a look at this sucker. Yeah, see, this is brutal, man. Like, even if let's say I could do a perfect approach, and I get it perfect, and I come in here, and I put it down right here, I then have to instantly go up, so I'd have to land it here. I've landed on some dippy runways before. Land here, and then I have to favor the right, and I'm going to tip and probably hit my wingtip. And then I'm going to probably hit my wingtip there, all the way up here, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to turn around and get out of here. You know, getting out of here, I have a little bit of gravity helping me, but it's ugly. It's running right down this rocky crag, and maybe steer to the right and get out, but unlikely. So I think that is a little bit even overly ambitious for me. Let's go right over the house there, scare the birds. All right, so we have two options here. I have to buy that base if I do that. I'm going to have to buy a base to transfer this guy. Let's see. That's a lot of money to spend to buy that airport. But that also has a sea base. Let's go over here to Sawyer South. Sawyer South has a container port, so that's worth buying. I don't think it's a ton of money. Let's check the cash on it. That is 50. So let's go over here. We'll buy this base for 50 grand. This is worth... What was this? This was like worth, I don't know. Can't see now. 15, 19, something. I can't remember what it was. So that cuts that down a little bit. We should be able to land on the beach here, which would be fun to land on this. And then we'll spawn a boat or boat most likely because I kind of need a boat. And then we'll head over. So it's just, that was hairy, dude. You know, even if I was in the ultralight, I wouldn't be able to take off out of there. The ultralight's a little bit finicky to take off. I need a pretty good flat surface. This takes off on less than flat surfaces. Let's go ahead and put the flaps up. I'm going to power up. We're almost there, but I'm going to speed up a little bit. Bring the flaps up. Just watching my temp here. All right, so we're going to land up here at Sawyer South, so I need to trim again. What is that island over there? That's interesting. It would, oh, you know what I just thought of? It would be cool to put in these windows in the real Ant 2 are sliding. I could put sliding windows in here. That would be really cool. I think I'm going to do that. That is TT over there. So let's go ahead and we'll get ready. We're going to land on the beach or on the grass here. Let's see. I might land on the grass. So like this grass here, I could land on that, no problem. Beach, we're going to go for the beach or the grass. Let's go flaps in. Flaps are coming in, so I need to pitch my nose down and I need to trim at the same time. And so bring that in, bring that in, bring that in. Slow us down, slow us down. If I need to go around, I will. I'm pretty good, I think, though. 77, watching my speed, most important thing. 70, power comes in. Coming off again, power's coming off again. Going around, going around, going around, going around. You can hear the deer. So go around, I called to go around. We were just eating up too much space. I wasn't going to have enough space for the... to stop before the tree line. So that's what you do. You have to go around sometimes. If the picture doesn't look right, you know, especially you get a really good sense of it after flying for a long time, you're like, nope, something doesn't look right, and you trust your subconscious. Your subconscious is telling you, man, something's wrong, and your conscious can't figure it out what's wrong yet. And listen to your subconscious. Your subconscious will tell you, yeah, dude, something's up. You know, and it's best to listen to it and then reassess. So come in, we'll land beach going. So see, I'm also going uphill. Uphill is going to help me stop because of gravity. So watching my speed. I have a high sink rate there for a second. I fixed it with a little power. Power, 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 power. Power, power, power. And we're chopping. So I'm watching the contour of the beach. And I'm going to set the brake. Okay, so let's, okay, see, this is what I was afraid of. Remember, I forgot to turn that valve off. And so we have a huge imbalance here now. So I need to leave this valve on, shut the batteries off. So you see the power slowly dying there? All right, good. So let's go ahead, parking brake set, parking brake set. Let's get this dude, and we'll grab a boat, and we'll bring all this crap with us. I didn't mean to drop you. I meant to open the door. If you could, like, stand 2 feet out of my way there, dude. Thanks. So not ideal, but, you know, this is kind of fun. You know, landing on the beach. So this is what I built this for, is the ability to go off-field. You know, we'll be able to land on beaches and whatnot, which I think is going to be something different and fun. Okay. Just have to pick this box up a couple times. Can you help? He doesn't want to help? I'm paying you, man. Yeah, well, still can help you, ding-dong. I used to fly private. We would do the bags. But they usually just had a briefcase and they held it themselves. Very rarely do we have to pull any baggage. They usually got it themselves. Can I not grab this box out here? There we go. Okay. You stay here, you dingus. Actually, you know what? Let's at least get one of your boxes here going. We'll take a boat and we will bring him with us back to here. So not too bad. Lands on the beach nice. It handled well. It has pretty good suspension now, so I actually can hit pretty hard. We landed really nicely. One thing you get IRL, especially on water, when there's not a lot of waves, it's hard to judge the contour, and so I could kind of realize I wasn't able to see the contour of the beach very well. So that's why I floated over the beach for a little while. Is the last thing I want to do is slam into it. So I kind of floated and floated and floated, and I got the wheels so that they were pretty much, you know, my mains up, because I didn't want to cartwheel forward. So I kept my nose up a little bit, so if I did hit something, it would bounce me back into the air instead of tumbling me over. And so that was just kind of a technique thing. But we'll get this John, and we'll head him over there. We'll probably end up the episode there. So this has been kind of fun, you know, doing some different stuff. Took off from the grass, landed on the beach, buying another base. This one has containers, so this is something I've been wanting to buy anyway. You know, it'd definitely be nice if they did some more transpo missions. We could just do airplane to airplane, you know, instead of having to always be like, oh, what's the best vehicle for this mission? Helicopter. 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 That is boring. Let's see. Let's take the speedboat. F1 car I haven't showed off yet. I did start a steam ship. Start a bunch of stuff here. There we go. 38 race boat. We'll go in style. Are you still following me? All right, now you're gonna... Can you jump on my back? Thanks, guy. Of course, I didn't put it very close. Hi-ya! Okay. I could use some paint underneath to fix that. All right. Sit you there, my guy. And I'm just gonna no-clip up here, just to cut it short so we're not having to do this forever in 100 years. Let me try to, I'm hoping to make the jump because I don't know if this box floats. Do not know if this, okay, so it's up there. Look at that, that was luck. That was luck. All right. So let's, it'd be cool if I could stick this in a seat. Yeah, good enough for me for right now. All right. I don't want to lose this box. Do I fail the mission if I lose this box? Is it worth a certain amount of points? I don't know. I can't remember. It's been a while since I've done one of these. This one has some stability issues. You see it's kind of leaning funky. I have to fix that. Do I have both engines on? I do. This one's leaning funky. I need to fix this boat. That's gross. I pulled a boat that's... I don't know why this is broken. This was working fine the last time I used it, I thought. Alright, I'll be back with your crap there, dude. I don't want to get too close to the shore. I'm not going to be able to get out of there. Alright, so we'll take his crap with us, and we should be good to go. Now we'll hammer over there. That boat goes about 80. And I'll be able to deliver this guy. So it's actually not too big of a deal. If you look at the timing on this, we have 465 minutes. So because the time is actually pretty long, you know, this is something that you could say, hey, I'll pick this guy up, I'll go back to FJ, I'll do some other missions, then I'll try to remember to bring him later. You know, you could do that. There's nothing against that. So you could do that. You could kind of, you know, I could have flown somewhere else and kind of done some other missions and then got back to him later. So, but that is a thought in the future, is just kind of be like, oh yeah, I don't have the right tool for this, but I can get him somewhere else that I want to go, and then I'll pick him up from there. All right, let's get all your crap in here. Right, your crap is in. Oh, I fell off. Dude. 10,000 doesn't seem like enough for this now, there, guy. 10,000 definitely not enough to be crashing my stuff. So I'm just operating on my right screw, and here we come with the starboard screw, and let's hammer them up. That was just how I turned. There we go. So see, it's gently banking to the right. I need to fix that at some point. All right, let's head over to the island. So there's Lighthouse, then we have Craggy Island, and then it's after Craggy Island, so not too bad. This was working pretty well, I think, here. So a little bit different way to get them there. That's one of the reasons I built this boat, is it's kind of thematically right. I don't like having a boat that shouldn't be going like 60 knots that goes 60 knots. But you know, I don't mind if I have like a sport boat that goes 60 knots, because that's kind of what it's supposed to be doing. I just kind of like to keep them, you know, realistic. You know, they have, my brain kind of breaks, you know, like if I have a tugboat that goes too fast, it's like the hull is designed to be going slow, and it's like it's going fast. This has a hull designed to go fast. It comes up on plane. Something's up with the stability system. I think maybe it could be an electrical problem. Let's actually test it. Let's go infinite electricity. And if that right side comes up, yep, see the right side came up and it's leveling out, that's an electrical problem. So that's an electrical problem. All right, so likely what happened was the electricity got broken to the stability fins on the starboard side. And now look at see we're doing 80 knots. So that was just a broken electrical connection. So easy fix. I thought I had this up and running better. When I was doing 65, I had my suspicions. I'm like, something is up. It's not coming up on plane properly. But 80 knots, the Vice boat goes like 110. But this one's smaller. I didn't really need this one to go that fast. I could use this one going a little bit faster, but I'd have to start doing some chicanery to get it going up there. I have to do a bunch of engineering to get it up to speed faster than this. dock. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and zero my thrust, and I'm going to come up on starboard only. That's going to help push me towards the dock, coming up on starboard. So you see starboard's kicking in, and I have full left rudder, and I'm kicking starboard. Alright, now I want to come zero again. I want to go full right rudder, and I'm going to come up on port, but I'm going to let us drift a little bit towards the dock, and now coming up on port. So we're going to kick this, we're going to kick us to port now. And brakes. Or not brakes, zero. Alright. Okay. Oh, I know why I did that. Oh, don't kill my dude. Oh, you suck, game. You know why I did that? There's an invisible collision under that dock. And it got stuck in the invisible collision that nobody can see. That sucks, dude. That annoys me. That really annoys me. That's so annoying, dude. Okay. Let's just put that behind us. I'll recall that later. Yeah, that. So there's an invisible collision under here. So it looks like you can swim under the dock, and that's why I didn't think of it twice. Look, see, we can't go under here. There is a collision here, and because there's a collision here, when the boat hit that, the nose got stuck in the collision and detonated it. So that is super obnoxious here. I'll take a picture of it, though. So I'm just going to recall the boat. That's a game-breaking mechanic. Again, IRL. So this is one of the reasons why when I dock, I shut off damage, is for this very reason. And so I won't let it bother me. I'll recall the vessel. But this is reason 9 million why you want custom menu on. I could leave this here and salvage it. That could be fun for a mission. I'll leave it here and we'll salvage it. Yeah, let's do that. Let's leave it here and salvage it. That'll be fun. All right, why don't you come with me? You're the bringer of bad times guy. So what I'll do is I'll build a barge with a crane, and we'll bring that with. So that'll be kind of fun. So kind of make some lemonade out of lemons there. You know, but that's a game issue, so... You know, I take a little... Can you follow me? Come on, dude. I'm going to throw your crap in the water. Yeah, so that's just an issue with the game. As you can see, I was coming in super duper slow and it just blew up. So, you know, that's something I could get frustrated with. This is, you know, like I say, this is why I put on creative menu. I could have shut damage off when I was coming into dock, which I often do because that stuff can happen. You know, I could recall it if I wanted. I could bring it back to the workbench and I'd only lose the fuel. These are all things I could do to mitigate my frustration with what just happened in the game. Oh my god, what are you doing? This guy's nuts. He's on crack. Have you been smoking crack cocaine, sir? He's been huffing whatever fumes he's experiencing in the lab there. Alright, I'm going to put you inside before you completely act the fool. Alright, thank you. Get rid of you. Bye. Ugh, what a jerk. Let's hope there's a crate here to make this worth our while. Still have to deliver his crap here. But, he could have carried one in, too. His hand's broken. So we'll carry this in. This is the kind of mission that's fun. I just, I don't want to take a helicopter everywhere, man. I just, like, so sick of taking helicopters. Why? I haven't got paid for your friggin' crap here yet, guy. Where am I putting this crap? Let's bring the other one in. Maybe I have to bring both of them to get paid. I don't even know. Another thing that would be kind of cool is some smaller containers that can fit on airplanes. I really like them doing airplane pass, man. You know? That'd be kind of cool. Because everything is like, oh, do this, best done with a helicopter. Oh, do this, best done with a helicopter. Oh, do this, best done with a helicopter. And it's kind of, that is so boring and limiting. You know, helicopters are fun, but it's like, it's nice to have some variety. Let's see, where does this need to go? Let's say the exact spot. Let's make sure I got it because I haven't got a closure on the message yet. So right outside here. So let's bring one out and see if I can't find the end point here. So he ended right when we got inside. See where his crap needs to go. I don't know, man. There it is, right there. Okay. When in doubt, look at the map. The map is actually... There we go. Okay, good. Good, good. Here, watch this guy. Ah, screw your stuff. Screw your stuff. Crashed my boat. All right, let's look for a crate really quick. There we go. Hey, look at that. This will help recuperate some of the money I lost from blowing my boat up. But, you know, again, I could get annoyed by that, but the boat doesn't cost that much. We have good money, and I can turn it into an adventure now. I can actually, you know, I was just going to recall it, and that's, again, you have custom menu on, you can do that. You can recall it, you can bring it back to the workbench, you can say, you know what, it was not my fault. The game had a bug. It did something stupid that's not realistic. I was barely moving. Oh my God, this game sucks. You could get all pissed off like I did initially and stay pissed off. Or you can kind of say, hey, I can turn it into a mission or I can make myself whole and bring it back. It wasn't my fault. And so that's why I highly recommend creative menu is bring in creative menu or custom menu. It's called both things. And, you know, it allows me to do things like, for example, if I wanted, I could just bring that back to the workbench. I could clean up the vehicle. I could do whatever I want to not have to be frustrated by it. So it's a really good tool to make the game more fun. And I highly, you know, I find that. And for example, if you want to like restrict yourself so you don't teleport all the time. Okay, oh my God, I don't even have natural disasters on. I've literally had no clue what that was. It is sucking me into the tornado right now. Do not. I hate natural disasters. They're always turned off. Why? Why? I have natural disasters turned off. Like when I jump, it sucks me in toward the... Come on, run, you dope! This guy, come on, move! Jackass, you're gonna die! Get inside! Oh my God. That is brutal, man. What the hell? I always shut off natural disasters. I'm not into that crap. Here, let's take a pickeroni of that. WTF on that, huh? I didn't even get the picture. Oh my God. Okay. Try not to get too close to it here. Yeah, I've literally never played with the natural disasters before. Yeah, I don't even touch them. If they were, like, this isn't too bad, but if it was a little bit more realistic and wasn't just like, pain in the butt, I would do it more. Like, I would like to see some more realistic natural disasters. I know it's, you know, I'm not the crowd for this, you know. You know, there are people who all they do all day long is run natural disasters, and that's just not my preferred type of gameplay. All right, so I think I'm going to end it there. We got this done. This boat needs to be rescued, so I'll rescue that. I'll go salvage it. It'll be kind of a fun mission to do. Once the devs kind of work out some of the kinks with this oil spill update, I will start a new world so that we can get into that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you in the next one.